Good morning, students. So, in the previous class, we discussed about combination of the cells, like series, parallel, and mixed grouping of the cells, and we discussed some problems based on this. Now, let us see about some other applications of the Kirchhoff laws. Sorry, we discussed already Kirchhoff law, how to apply that Kirchhoff law. Just we discussed what is Kirchhoff law and how to apply that Kirchhoff law with the proper sign convention we discussed there. So now let us see what actually the applications of the Kirchhoff law. That means where we need to apply the Kirchhoff law, and by applying Kirchhoff law, what we can find. So let us see these applications of Kirchhoff law. Right? Applications of the Kirchhoff law. So, in the previous classes, actually we calculated the current in the different branches. That means when we are discussing about the Kirchhoff laws, we solved some problems. In that, just we calculated the current in the different branches. So, with the help of the Kirchhoff law, so like that we can find the current in different branches of the complicated circuits, and then we can find the effective resistance in the circuit, and we can also find potential difference between any 2 points in the circuit. So potential difference between not only nearby points, potential difference between any 2 points in the circuit we can calculate with the help of this Kirchhoff law. And so that is major applications of this Kirchhoff law here. We can find the current, we can find the potential or potential difference between points, and we can also find the effective resistance in the circuit. In more complicated circuits, we can solve this Kirchhoff law here. So this is a basic method to find the effective resistance or the current in the different branches. So in some cases, there may be some techniques to reduce the circuit. If more complicated circuits are given, actually, the application of the Kirchhoff law may be somewhat difficult. Difficult in the sense if more loops are suppose involved in the problem. Then if suppose say then 5 loops are there in that problem, then 5 equations you need to write, and automatically 5 or more variables you get, and you need to write such a 5 equations, and you need to solve such a 5 equations. It may be lengthy, but you can solve. We will discuss some techniques how to reduce that calculation, and when you are discussing about circuit analysis, like when you are there are certain techniques here how to reduce the circuit and how to find the effective resistance easily in some circuits there. So that we will discuss later. So first let us see the basic applications of this Kirchhoff law here. So then we discussed already for the closed loop we will apply here. So sometimes you may find such a circuits here like resistance So only a branch of circuit will be given like this. This is A and B. So now they will ask find the potential difference between A and B. And so here this is suppose say this is 9 ohms, and this is 4 volts 2 ohm, and this is say 6 volts 1 ohm. We need to find the potential difference between A and B when current flowing through the circuit is say 2 amperes. So write that problem. Find the potential difference between A and B in the branch of a circuit shown below. In the branch of the circuit shown below. That means here total circuit is not given, right? Only a part, open part is given here. That means it is actually a part of a circuit. Only we are giving a part of a circuit in which a current of this 2 amperes is flowing here, right? And so now we need to identify this potential. We need to find the potential difference between them. So here in this problem, in such a type of problems, if they ask potential difference between A and B, we may find either VA minus VB or VB minus VA. Larger minus smaller we will find generally. Potential difference means. If particularly they are asking find VA minus VB or VB minus VA, if they are asking like that, then we need to answer the value along with the sign, whether it may be positive or negative, you will get after doing these calculations here. So that means actually here you can solve such a, because for application of the second law, we said it is applicable generally for the closed loops, right? And actually for such a branch of the circuits also we can apply here. And we can also apply by assuming this as a closed loop. By assuming this as a closed loop means I am assuming like A and B are connected like this. A and B are connected by an imaginary cell here of this potential difference VAB, right? And VAB in the sense we are taking like VA minus VB. And why I am writing VA minus VB means I am assuming like positive is connected to this side. This is our assumption here. Just if you want to find the potential difference between AB, you need to find the EMF of this battery here, right? That gives the potential difference between AB. So that means when such a branch of circuits are given, you can assume that a battery is connected between those two terminals whose EMF is equal to the potential difference between those 2 points. That means our required value. And here we are assuming like this point is connected to the positive terminal means we are finding VA minus VB value. Got it? And now you can apply the Kirchhoff law because it is a closed loop. We can apply the Kirchhoff law. So directly I am writing here, starting from this, I am applying Kirchhoff law in this direction here. So this indicates now we are applying in the direction, right? And so now here for this resistance, we are traveling in this direction, in the direction of the current. So in the direction of current means it is negative. So minus IR. So 2 into 9. Next here we are getting this cell. For this cell, we are traveling from positive to negative. So positive to negative means it is minus, right? And next here resistance is there. And now here you may get the doubt how much current is flowing in this resistance and how much current is flowing in this resistance, right? Is there any such a doubt? So simply there only one path is there. When one path is there, that means from A to B only this is the path available here, right? When only that is the path available, the current flowing in that path will be only 2 amperes only. Whether here cell may be connected or any other resistance may be connected, or cell may be connected like positive terminal may be this side or negative terminal may be this side. Got it? If only this path is there, if here current is given as 2 amperes, so everywhere you need to take the 2 amperes current only. Got it? Because only one path is available. So irrespective of the polarities of these cells, now 2 amperes current will flow like that only. So you need to take the same amount of current here. Got it? So don't confuse about the current or about the polarities here. So that means in that process, because it is a part of a circuit, so in that process some cells may be charging, may be in charging state and some cells may be in discharging state there, right? So simply you need to take the same amount of current in the same direction, even though here positive terminal is connected this side, right? And so next, that means this is 4, and next here it is IR minus IR 2 into 2. Next here this cell, that means 6, and we are traveling from negative to positive, and so plus 6. And next for this resistance here, we are traveling in the direction of current, so minus 1 into 2, and next we are coming across this. So for this we are traveling from negative to positive, so it is plus VAB. So this value is equal to 0, right? So that is application of Kirchhoff law for this closed loop. So that means this just mentioned by KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law. So this is minus 18 minus 4 plus 6 minus 2 plus VAB is equal to 0. And so that this is nothing but I can write this as VAB is equal to 22 volts. That means that is nothing but VA minus VB is equal to 22 volts we can write. So that is the potential difference between them. Means this is minus these 3 terms I can cancel here, then only this 18 minus 4, that is 22. And so now if they ask potential difference between A and B, you can write 22 volts. If VA minus VB, if they are asking, you can write 22. But if they are asking find VB minus VA value, then we need to answer minus 22. So like that. If they ask just a potential difference, we write the magnitude here. Or if they are asking VA minus VB, you need to answer along with the sign. So that is one method here. We can assume, in this method, we are assuming that a cell is connected between these 2 points here. An imaginary cell is assumed to be connected between those 2 points whose EMF is equal to EMF potential difference between those 2 points, our required value. So that is one method, right? And you can also apply this Kirchhoff law directly without taking this assumption here, right? So here first, while noting this, just to mention this, write this assumption here because it is not given. We are assuming here. Assume a cell is connected between points A and B. Assume a cell is connected between the points A and B whose EMF is equal to potential difference between them as shown in figure. So write that assumption and then note and write this. And now here I am saying that without taking this assumption also directly you can write this. So directly you can apply the Kirchhoff law. Let us see how to apply this Kirchhoff law here. So directly, that means now I am saying by the direct method. This is second method. So in the second method we write from this point here up to this point B. So that starting point we consider its potential as VA. Suppose this is a point A, here we are assuming potential as VA and here we are assuming as potential as VB, right? So then VA, so we assume the first point as VA, that means positive sign only we consider here. And next for these elements we apply our usual sign convention, and for the last point we consider that potential as negative, that means minus VB will write. For intermediate we apply our usual sign convention here. And this usual sign convention means here resistance is there and we are following in the direction of current. So minus, that means IR 2 into 9, and this is again minus 4, we are traveling from positive terminal to negative terminal, and here in the direction of current 2 into 2, and here positive to negative to positive, so it is plus 6 and minus 2 into 1. So then for this final point we need to write minus VB, this value is equal to 0. Got it? So that means we are taking directly, without taking that assumption, directly we are writing, you will get the same equation only. Just the approach will be different here. So VA, then we apply for this intermediate elements, then finally minus VB we will write here. And so now again you can simplify this. So VA minus 18 minus 4 minus 4 plus 6 minus 2 minus VB is equal to 0. And from this you can write this as VA minus VB is equal to 22 volts you can write. That means same as that of our previous value. That means either you can consider, you can imagine a cell and you may assume that cell is connected, or directly from that point to this point directly you can apply like this. Got it? So it is a way of finding the potential difference when certain branch of the circuit is given. Next series problem. So here actually the given data is this part of the circuit is shown here, and here additional 2 ohm resistance is connected. Now potential difference between A and B is given here. Potential difference between A and B is 16. Now we need to find the potential, that means current flowing through the 2 ohm resistor, right? That means this is a 2 ohm resistor here. Current flowing through this 2 ohm resistance we need to find. So that means here current is not given, current distribution or current is not given. So first we need to assume the current here. So that I am taking like I is the current flowing here, then at the junction current is dividing. So I am assuming some I1 is a current flowing like this. I1 is a current flowing through this 2 ohm. So we need to find this I1 value. And the remaining current I minus I1 will flow along this. And again at this junction this I minus I1 and I1 they added together, and so that original current I you will get here. So now next I am applying the first this Kirchhoff law from A to B. That means from A to B means from this direct path I am applying here. So when you are applying the direct path, directly from the point, that means second method I am applying here, previously what we discussed. For point A, VA if you are taking, this is the potential VA and this is the potential VB. So then VA minus, this remaining sign convention is usual. So we are traveling in the direction of current minus 4I, and then this is a cell we are traveling from positive to negative, so minus 9, and for this we are traveling in the direction of current flow, so it is minus I, or I means here I minus I1, and here we are traveling from negative terminal to positive terminal, so it is plus 3. Next for this we are traveling in the direction of current, so minus 4I, and this value is equal to minus VB, and that means that is minus VB is equal to 0. Then VA minus VB I am writing together because that value is given for this, and remaining you can simplify here. Then this VA minus VB value is given as 16, so 16, and remaining constants value will be here. So minus 9 and plus 3, so that I am taking as minus 6, and remaining I values 4I, that means 5I, and this is 9I. So 9I plus I1, and this value will get like, finally we can write this equation as 9I minus I1 is equal to 10. So that I am taking as equation 1. Next I am applying for this closed loop here. For this closed loop only for this small closed loop we are applying here, and I am applying in clockwise sense. So when you are applying in clockwise sense, we are traveling from positive to negative, so it is minus 9 EMF of the cell, and here resistance we are traveling in the direction of current flow, so it is minus IR, and for this resistance we are traveling opposite the direction of current, we are traveling like this. So that means here potential difference across it is plus 2I, and so then 2I1. So then by simplifying this equation, then you will get like 3I1 minus I is equal to 9. So that is, let it be equation 2. Now we need to solve these two equations, and we need to find this I1 value here. So to find that I1 value, just I am multiplying this equation with the 9, so that this 9I and 9I you can cancel there. So then 27I1 minus 9I minus 9I minus 81. So this is our, we are multiplying the second equation with the 9. Plus this first equation we are adding here. So I1 minus I1 plus 9I is equal to 10. So just to simplify this, then you will get this I1 is equal to say 21, or I think nearly its value is 3.5 amperes you can write, right? So it is our current flowing through the 2 ohm resistance here. So like that you can apply the Kirchhoff law, and you can find the current in the different branches of the circuit. And next let us see, when 2 points are not very close to each other, that means if the 2 points are not nearby points, then also we can find the potential difference there. That means, as I said, potential difference between any 2 points in the circuit we can calculate with the help of this Kirchhoff law. Let us see one such a model. So here I am taking this circuit like this. This is say 10 volts and 5 amperes, sorry 5 ohms, and this is 20 volts and 10 ohm, and this is 5 volts and 5 ohm resistor. And suppose I am taking this is the point A, so somewhere I am taking this is the point A, and this is the point some B. So we need to find the potential difference points A and B, and current flowing through this 5 ohm. So I am taking this as some 15 ohm. So then so that is a given circuit. So note that circuit. In the circuit shown in figure, find current flowing through the 15 ohm resistor, and also find potential difference between points A and B shown in the figure. Potential difference between the points A and B shown in figure. Right? So now, so So let us first take the current distribution and let us find the values here. Suppose here from this cell I am taking this current I1 is flowing here. So this I1 is flowing like this, right? So that means from this battery, positive terminal of the battery, the current I1 is coming out here. And next when you are reaching this junction here, is there any distribution or division of current here? Because generally when two paths are available, then current will divide in general, right? So but here at this junction, can you say is this I1 divides, that means some amount of I1 is flowing like this and some amount of I1 is flowing like this? Is it possible? If you are assuming it is possible, like suppose I am assuming that some I2 is flowing along this direction and then current flowing in this direction will be I1 minus I2, right? If this is true, then let us come to our basic point. The basic point is when you are taking the current distribution, whatever the current coming out of the positive terminal of a cell, same amount of current should enter into the negative terminal of the cell, right? We discussed already in the beginning of almost when you are discussing about the cells. So that means whatever the positive terminal, that means whatever the current coming out of the positive terminal, same amount of current should enter into the negative terminal. And so now here if you observe this, if you are taking the current distribution like this, some amount of current I2 is flowing in this direction if we assume, then current flowing in this negative terminal, current entering the negative terminal will be I minus I2. But whereas current coming out of the positive terminal is I1. Is it possible? So it is not possible. Then what is our conclusion is, at this junction current is not dividing. So division is not possible. So that this current I1 is coming here, the same amount of current I1 will flow along this direction. Got it? So here if it divide, then here conservation of charge is failing. That means amount of charge is not, same amount of charge is not entering the negative terminal. So that means here this is division of current is not possible at this junction. Similarly, I am taking this current I2 is flowing out of this positive terminal of this battery here, right? And so that this I2 is coming out like this to this resistance. Now similarly, can you say that is there any division of junction, is there any division of current at the junction B? So absolutely no, same reason. If any current is dividing here, then current flowing in this direction will be less than this I1, I2, and so that which is not possible. That means current entering and current leaving are different for that cell, which is not possible. And so here also the same amount of current I2 should flow like this. Got it? Now you can find this I1 and I2 values just by applying Kirchhoff law or by applying this just in this single loop E is equal to IR formula you can write, because simple one resistance and one cell and one resistors are there. So I1 is equal to, I can write this 10 by 5, 2 amperes, and I2 value is also like 20 by 10, 2 amperes, right? So that is I1 and I2 values. Now our question is, what is the current flowing through the 15 ohm resistor? So that 15 ohm is here. Now what is the current flowing through the 15 ohm resistor? 0. No current is flowing in this path here. Whatever the current coming here, the current is flowing like this, and similarly whatever the current coming here, that current will flow like this. No current is flowing in this branch. And so then current flowing through the 15 ohm is 0. Got it? You may get an idea here. That means you may get a doubt here. That doubt is nothing but then what about this cell? Here cell is there now, then a resistance is connected to the cell, then generally current should flow through the cell, right? If you are assuming like this, if suppose I am taking this some amount of current I1 is, say this I3 is coming like this, then is there any chance that the same amount I3 is entering into the negative terminal? If I3 is coming out of this positive terminal, is there any chance to enter into the negative terminal of the cell? There is no chance. This I3 can't enter into this negative terminal here. That means simply what we can say is that cell is in open circuit. It is not the closed circuit. This 5 volts is not in closed circuit. It is an open circuit here, and so that no current is flowing through that cell, and therefore current through the 15 ohm resistor will be 0. So mention that. Therefore, current through 15 ohm resistor is 0. So it's a previous advanced question. So that means the numericals may be different, that model is there. So that means now that is the current flowing from the 15 ohm. And next here the potential difference we need to calculate, potential difference between the points A and B. So as I said, with the help of this Kirchhoff law, you can calculate potential difference between any two points in the circuit. So to find the potential difference between any two points in the circuit, simply what we will do is, we assume an imaginary cell is connected between those 2 points. We imagine a cell is connected between those 2 points whose EMF is equal to potential difference between those 2 points. So that means you may mention that. So here I am assuming here. So here one cell is connected like this. So here the EMF of the cell is VAB, which is meaning is VA minus VB, because we are assuming this is connected to positive terminal. So that is higher potential here, right? And so now here let us take some names here to apply this Kirchhoff law. So first mention that to find potential, after writing this, current is 0. To find potential difference between A and B, to find potential difference between A and B, we assume a cell is connected between points A and B. A cell is connected between points A and B is equal to, whose EMF is equal to potential difference between those 2 points. That means potential difference between A and B, whose EMF is equal to potential difference between A and B. And that means when you are discussing, when you are starting of this class, we discussed the 2 methods for this, when open branch is there. So this is one method, and the second method is directly by applying from one point to another point. So like that, directly also we can apply from one point to another point, or you can apply by assuming some closed loop here, right? Now here when you are applying this closed loop, that means for this loop, if you want to apply the Kirchhoff voltage law, you can apply along any path here. That means you can come across like this and you can follow like this, or you can also follow like this. You will get the same answer. So I am writing this Kirchhoff law directly here. This is AB totally. This is suppose a point C and this is the point D. That means I am taking this path here. Is it clear? A, B, C, D path. By KVL for loop A, B, C, D, A. We are taking A, B, C, D, A means we are applying along the direction. So now starting from this, minus VAB, because we are traveling from positive terminal to negative terminal. Next here, we are reaching this point here. When you are reaching this point, here resistance is there. Then can you say what is potential difference here across this 15 ohm resistor? Potential difference across 15 ohm resistance is 0, right? Because no current is there. Across resistance, potential difference will be there only when current is flowing through that. Potential difference across the resistance is always given by IR. When I is 0, then automatically potential difference across that resistance will be 0. So here potential difference across this resistance is 0. But this cell is there. So then across the cell, then potential difference will be there. So that is the role of the cell here. And so then this cell will be, we are traveling from negative terminal to positive terminal. So it is plus 5 we need to write here. This is 5 volts. So plus 5 we need to write. Next we are traveling along this direction. So here we are traveling opposite the direction of the current. So opposite the direction of the current means plus. IR, I value we already calculated I1, 2 into 5 is equal to 0. So that is Kirchhoff law for that closed loop. And so therefore it is minus VAB plus 15 is equal to 0. Therefore, VAB is equal to 15 volts. So that is the potential difference between points A and B. So like that you can calculate potential difference between any two points with the help of this Kirchhoff law. So let us write one more problem to find the potential difference. So here I am taking the circuit like this. So note down this circuit here. The circuit shown in figure. In the circuit shown in figure, find current in different branches, and also find potential difference between the points B and D. Potential difference between the points A and C. Potential difference between the points A and C. Right? So now in this different cells are there here. So then we need to take some current distribution first, and then after taking the current distribution, then we find the current value. If you know the current value, then potential difference between A and C you can easily find in this problem, because A and C are directly connected here. When A and C are directly connected, then just we can apply this IR formula here, right? So if they are not connected, then we follow our previous procedure. We assume a cell is connected between them, and then we apply the Kirchhoff law for the whole loop. And so now here we need to take some current distribution here, and we know the taking the current distribution is purely our choice. You can take in any direction here, right? And so now here I am taking like I am starting from here. This I am taking the current I is flowing here. So then this is the I is flowing here, and out of this I am taking this I1 is the current flowing along this direction. Then remaining current I minus I1 will be flowing along this, right? And so that this current will be I minus I1, and this I and I minus I1 will be adding together, and so that you will get the total current I. So right, so it is a simple current distribution here. And now here two variables are there for us, so we need to apply the Kirchhoff law for twice. That means two loops. We need to assume any two loops, and then we can apply the Kirchhoff law here. So that means I am assuming like first let us write for this outer loop I am taking here. By KVL for loop ABCDE. For this outer loop I am taking here. So that means I am starting from here in anti-clockwise direction now we are applying. So it is plus 3 and then plus 3 into I minus I1. Now you can solve yourself, because you know the application of the Kirchhoff law, and here also we are traveling opposite to the current. So it is plus 1 into I minus I1, and this is minus 1, and next here also we are traveling opposite to the current. So it is minus I, plus 2i opposite the current. Opposite the current means plus 2i. And then here we are traveling from negative to positive, so it is plus 2. Next, when you reach this is we are traveling from positive to negative, so it is minus 4 and plus 4i is equal to 0. For this resistance it will be positive, we are traveling opposite that of current direction. And now let us simplify here. 3 plus 3i minus 3i1 plus I minus I1 minus 1 plus 2i plus 2 minus 4 plus 4i is equal to 0. First let us see the constants here. This 3 and next here 1 minus 1 and this is 2 and this is minus 4. So right, so here it is minus 2 minus 3 and this 3 that will be cancelled here, right? So that means this is up to here it is minus 3 and this is plus 3, so that constant terms will be cancelled. And now let us simplify the remaining I terms here. So this is I, 4i and this is 6i, 10i. So 10i and I1 terms minus 3, that means 3i1, 4i1 minus 4i1, so that's it, minus 4i1 is equal to 0. And therefore you can write this as I is equal to, we can find this value as some 2 by 5 I1. Let's suppose this is equation 1. Now take any other loop and then apply Kirchhoff law. Suppose I am taking this ABCA loop. By KVL for loop ABCA. So that means for this loop we are applying here simply, and again we are traveling like this. So it is minus 3 plus 3 into I minus I1 and this is again plus I minus I1 and then it is minus 1 and here it is resistance is required here. I am taking this resistance as some 6 ohms. It is given data only. So then it is 6i1 I am taking then is equal to 0 for this loop, right? So minus, this is plus 3 and this is plus A into I, the IR formula, and this is also plus IR formula, and this is minus 1, so here minus 1 should be there. So this is minus 1 and then after that minus 6i1. This value is equal to 0, right? So it is application of the Kirchhoff law. You can do the simplification here again. So then it is 3, constant is only 3 is there, then plus 3i1 minus 3i1 plus I minus I1. This is minus 1 and the 6i1 is equal to 0. And you can simplify this further, you can simplify this equation. So then it is 3 and minus 1, it is 2. And next here this is 3, 4, 4i, and I1 terms will be like 4 and this is 6 minus 10i1 is equal to 0. So let us write the term like 10i1 minus 4i is equal to 2, or this is 5i1 minus 2i is equal to 2. This equation is equal to 1. We are dividing with that 2 is equal to 1. Now by using equation 1 and 2, just we can substitute this I value in that equation. From equation 1 and 2, 5i1 minus 2 into 2i1 by 5 is equal to 6, is equal to 1. And then simplify, take LCM and simplify this. Therefore this I1 value is here 25 minus 4 you will get. So 21 I1 by 5 is equal to 1. Therefore, this I1 is equal to 5 by 21 amperes, right? And then from that you can calculate the potential difference here. Now, therefore, I am writing here the potential difference value. We can write this as Vc minus Va, because current is flowing in that direction and we are getting that value as positive. So then this value we can write it as 6I1. So 6 into this is 5 by 21. I think you can simplify this as, therefore, Vc minus Va value is, I think 3 you can cancel, 3 2s and 7. So it will be 10 by 7 volts, right? So it is a potential difference between A and C. So that means Vc value is higher, so Vc minus Va value we are writing. So right, that is the potential difference and application of the Kirchhoff law in such a cases, right? And so now actually we can also find the effective resistance with the help of this Kirchhoff law. Now let us see how to find this effective resistance with the help of this Kirchhoff law. So now let us see how to find resistance by using effective resistance by using this Kirchhoff law. I will explain one problem and we will discuss after more problems after completion of the circuit analysis. So then this is our circuit here. Suppose I am taking this is 10 ohms, 20 ohms, and this is 20 ohms, 10 ohms, and this is 10 ohms. So we need to find the effective resistance between the points A and B. So just write that problem. Find effective resistance between A and B, between the points A and B in the circuit shown in figure. So by applying Kirchhoff law, if you are finding the effective potential, that means effective resistance, we need to assume like one cell is connected between those 2 points here, right? And then we take the current distributions and then we whatever the variables current I1, I2, I3 are there, we find the relation among those and we convert the relation among those currents here. And finally we apply the Kirchhoff law again once more. That means let us see the procedure here. This is actually we are assuming here this part. So here a cell is connected, we are assuming like this, right? This is of potential difference V. So you may write that assume a cell of EMF V is connected between A and B. Now I am taking the current distribution here. So from this cell I am assuming this current I is flowing here, right? And so then here this current I am taking as some I1, then this current will be I minus I1. And actually when you are discussing about symmetries, and we will discuss some techniques in that later in the coming classes, and in that you may get an clarity about this. If this current here is I1 is, that means I1 if you are assuming, then current here will be I1 in this problem. If the resistance is all like this is 20 and 10 and this is 10 and 20. As we don't know that point here, let us take some variables here. So that means here I am assuming some current is flowing like this. Let us take this as I2. Then remaining current of this current will be I minus I1 minus I2 is flowing like this, right? And then this current is adding here, then here this current will be I1 plus I2. And so that this total current I will flow out here, right? So now here 2 variables are there for us, I1 and I2. So first let us apply the Kirchhoff law twice, so that we will find some relation between I1 and I2. And so then here I1 and I2, and in terms of I we need to express here. In terms of I1 and I2 values we need to find here. So you may apply the Kirchhoff law for any loop here. So I am taking this as some point C, D, E, F, G, H, right? So now by KVL for loop CDGHC. That means for this loop I am taking here. For this loop if I consider, then minus 10 of I minus I1, this is minus I2 into 10, and this is also plus 20 into I1. This is equal to 0 because there is no EMF here in this part. And so now let us simplify here. I think I can divide with the 10. Then here directly I am writing here minus I plus I1 minus I2 plus 2I1 is equal to 0, right? And so now in this I plus I1 and this is 2I1, so 3I1 minus I2 is equal to I. Suppose this is one equation, right? And now let us apply for this outer loop I am applying here. By KVL for loop outer loop CEFHC. For this outer loop I am taking here. Now if you are writing from here, then this is minus 10 of I minus I1. This is minus 20 of I minus I1 minus I2. So listen carefully, just it's the application of Kirchhoff law only. We are not learning any new thing here, right? We know already how to apply the Kirchhoff laws, just we are applying the Kirchhoff law and we are knowing how to find the different parameters with the help of this Kirchhoff law. And so now next here, plus 10 into I1 plus I2. Because here we are traveling opposite the direction of the current, and here also we are traveling opposite the direction of the current, plus 20 into I1. This is equal to 0, right? And so now let us divide with the 10. So minus I plus I1 minus 2I plus 2I1 plus 2I2 plus I1 plus I2 plus 2I1 is equal to 0, right? So let us take the I terms here. So this is 1 I minus 3I. So that's it, minus 3I. And next I1, 2I1, 3I1, 4I1. And this is 6I1. So it is plus 6I1. Next I2 terms. So only here I2 is there, 3I2. So this is also plus 3I2 is equal to 0. So then you can write this as, you can simplify this equation as 2I1 plus I2 is equal to I. I am dividing with the 3. So this is our equation 2. Now let us solve the equations 1 and 2. Then you may find the I1 and I2 values here. This is equation 1 plus equation 2 I am writing here. So that is 3I1 minus I2 is equal to I. This is equation 1, and equation 2 is this one, 2I1 plus I2 is equal to I. And so that this will be 3I1 is equal to 2I we can write. So that now we are getting this I1 value in terms of I. So then this I1 is equal to, I can write this as 2 by 3I. So this is our I1 value. Now by substituting I1 value either in this equation or in this equation, you can find the I2 values. Now from equation 1 I am writing here, I2 is equal to 3I1 minus I. And you can substitute that. Therefore this I2 is equal to, so if we substitute here 3 into 2 by 3I minus I. So by substituting this I1 value there, therefore this I2 is equal to I you can write. So that is our I2 expression. And now after getting this I1 and I2, finally again once more we need to apply the Kirchhoff law by including the cell after getting this I1 and I2 values here. Here you can take any path here, but finally we should include this cell. Here you may come along this path, or you may come along this path, or you may consider this path also. So but finally we should include that cell. So see that, then you will get the final effective resistance for that. So first you need to find this I1 and I2 values like that in terms of the total current. and then finally we need to apply the Kirchhoff law. So that means now for this I am considering simply this path here and this along including the cell. So finally by KVL for loop AHFBA, right? For this loop I am following here AHFBA. And now for this loop, let us apply the Kirchhoff law. We are applying along this direction. So here we are traveling in the direction of current. So in the direction of current means minus 20 I1. And next here we are traveling in the direction of current. So again negative 10 of I1 plus I2. And next this cell. For cell we are traveling from negative to positive. So it is plus V is equal to 0. And therefore we can write this equation as minus 20 I1 minus 10 I1 minus 10 I2 plus V is equal to 0. Or I can write this equation as V is equal to 30 I1 plus 10 I2. And now substitute this I1 and I2 values by using that equation. So then this equation is 30 into I1 is nothing but 2 by 3 I plus 10 into I, and therefore this is nothing but V is equal to 30 I you will get. But this V value we can write this as V is equal to, we can write this as I into R effective, because we are replacing this total circuit by R effective, then same amount of current should drawn from the cell here, then that is nothing but our equivalent resistance. So that means this total circuit we are replacing with the single resistor R effective here. Therefore this I into R effective is equal to 30I. And from this we can conclude that R effective is equal to 30 ohms. So that is the effective resistance in that circuit here. By cancelling this I, you can conclude that effective resistance in that circuit is 30 ohms. So that is a way of finding the effective resistance with the help of this Kirchhoff law. Just we need to assume one cell is connected here, imaginary cell, and then we take the current distributions in the given circuit, and we find the I1, I2 or I3 any variable values in terms of the total current. Here we are assuming the total current as I. So in terms of I1 and I2, we need to find this I1 and I2 values. After getting those values, finally we need to apply the Kirchhoff law including this imaginary cell. And for this cell, we replace the EMF of the cell as I into R effective. By replacing this, you can calculate this R effective value here. So it is R effective in the circuit. And we will discuss some more problems finding the R effective after completion of circuit analysis. Because if you know the circuit analysis, then you can solve some problems more easily than by applying this Kirchhoff law. So that first we prefer the circuit analysis, and then after that we will discuss about some more problems based on the Kirchhoff law. Thank you.